let's go over 5 drills that are going to help you improve your back walkover. But first, a look at the full movement. We're going to start with our dominant leg out front, tight toe pointed. Of course, you're a gymnast. Arms stretched towards the sky. And to actually initiate the lean backwards, we're going to lead with our fingertips. So think fingertips backwards first. Scale, lunge, control that finish. Okay? So come on back. Let's look at the roadmap of where we're going with these progressions. We're kind of starting at a more beginner drill and then evolving and transitioning our way into more advanced walkover drills that you can use. First one being a box bridge with a kickover. So we're going to take the first part of our back walkover out of the equation just so we can focus on getting into a modified bridge and kicking over the top of ourselves. So you're going to start with a pretty high box because it's going to make it easier, right? We're farther away from the floor. Heels are going to come on top of your box. Hands by your ears. Scoot your booty close to your box, and then it's a simultaneous push with the heels, push with the hands, lift into a bridge. Reposition if needed. Dominant leg comes straight up towards the sky. Kick over, controlled lunge, and finish. Okay? The beautiful thing about this too is the shorter your box is, the more challenging this drill becomes. So start with a high box, and as you can do each height, try a lower box, a lower one, and you can literally progress your way all the way down to the floor in a full bridge, push-up, kick over, okay? All right, drill number 2 is a modified bridge to a wall. So this is where we start to focus on the first part of our back walkover. So you can see my stack of 8 inchers here. We're just pretending that it's a solid wall for the sake of you being able to see my positions, okay? So don't get caught up on the mats, use your wall. We're gonna begin in that same starting position. Dominant leg out front here. Arms stretching towards the ceiling. My fingers are gonna lead the way, and then I'm just gonna very gently tap the wall behind me. Boom. Stretch, fingers. Look at the wall behind you, okay? This is just starting to introduce you to the concept of leading with the fingers, stretching tall, and staying as tight and engaged as possible, especially through this first part of the skill. Because if you want a tight, well done skill, you've got to make sure that your starting position is tight and perfect so that it carries all the way through. If you start kind of unfocused, wiggly, jiggly all over the place, you can't expect yourself to just turn it on when you're upside down, right? You got to start tall and tight to be tall and tight. All right, so now we're going to evolve off of that modified bridge to a wall, and we're going to use a box. So we're going to do the same thing, but to a lower surface, okay? Again, progressing our way through this back walkover. So now I've got a high box. I'm going to start at my same starting position. Dominant leg out front, hands stretched tall towards the ceiling. My fingers are going to lead the way, and then I stretch back to my box. Tap, woo, and come back up, okay? One more time. Yeah, and come back up. It's definitely going to challenge your shoulder, your upper body, your thoracic spine mobility, and really show you if A, you have enough flexibility in the upper body to be able to do a successful back walkover or bridge, or B, maybe you need to spend some time getting a little bit more flexible in your shoulders, in your upper body before attempting this skill, right? Definitely. Okay, number 4, drill number 4. We're gonna be doing an elevated back walkover off of a low panel mat, okay? So we have focused on the kickover part with progression 1. We focused on the starting position and initiating that back lean to a bridge with progressions 2 and 3. And now we're going to go back into the full back walkover, but off of an elevated surface, okay? The reason being is by raising ourselves off the floor, gravity is going to come in and play a little bit of a part in our walkover in helping us to rotate a little bit easier, right? Because it's like doing a back walkover on a decline, on a downhill. And we can use that momentum to our advantage, especially as you're starting to learn. So we're going to go through the same steps that we did. Dominant leg out front, arms towards the ceiling, stretch towards the sky, fingers lead the way backwards, and make sure you stay tight all the way through and be ready to hit that floor. Okay, this may seem a little bit freaky at first, and that's okay. If you want to put some mats behind your panel mat, some pillows, some cushions, something to make your surface a little bit more squishy and soft, I highly recommend doing that so you feel a little bit more confident as you're learning this progression and this skill. The biggest key for this progression specifically though is committing to your elevated back walkover and being tight and prepared for your hands to make contact, to hit the floor. Because a lot of newer athletes, when they try this for the first time, they tend to freak out a little bit mid walkover, and then they hit the floor and then everything collapses and now you've fallen, right? Nobody wants to fall. I definitely don't want you to fall. So you got to make sure that you are mentally committed to going for your walkover, and you're like, where's the floor? Where is it? Oh, there it is. I see it. Okay, brace, be strong, and then make sure your body is tight and prepared to hit the ground so that you move through a nice, strong, solid handstand and can lunge and finish at the end. Okay, so one more time. Tall, tight. I am committed to going for my full walkover. I'm prepared to hit the floor. I lead with my fingers. Boom, and then we've got a successful elevated back walkover. All right, last but not least, when you feel confident on our elevated surface, our little panel mat, guess what? You can unfold that panel mat to be a little bit shorter. Do a back walk over there. Then unfold it again once you can do it a little bit shorter so you can do a back walk over there. And eventually you're going to make your way all the way down to floor level. So we're doing the full skill. All right. As you can see in all the drills we've done so far in my demos, my dominant leg is forward, but it starts on the ground. Now, especially with my optional team, one of our requirements is to have the gymnast hold their front leg at 90 degrees or horizontal, parallel with the floor. So if you've got your back walkover on the floor and you say to yourself, awesome, I'm gonna make it a little bit more challenging, so it's a little bit higher degree of difficulty, it's a little bit harder. I want my back walkover to be more of an optional gymnast standard. You can get your high block again, and then we're just gonna practice elevating that front leg at horizontal and moving through the same steps that we did with all of our other drills. So we're gonna stretch towards the sky, make sure we push those shoulders into our ears. I'm gonna lead the way back with my fingers. I'm gonna stay tight all the way through my walkover and make sure I'm prepared to hit the floor with my hands. So stretch, fingers, scale and lunge out of it, okay? So there are 5 walkover drills, 4 more beginner, 2 more advanced difficulty levels that you can use to help learn and perfect this skill. I hope you have fun with these, and please keep me updated if you use any of them next time you go to practice, because I definitely want to hear how they go. Have fun.